my father is being honored, and I am so grateful to the community college system for continuing to honor his memory and what he stood for. It was extremely important to him. He loved working with the community college system. He had this tremendous passion for the transforming power of education. He knew that education gave you a chance to be somebody that you would otherwise never be. Now that made my father a passionate believer that everybody ought to have that chance. Anybody who was willing to work hard, anybody who was willing to take the chance ought to have that chance.
Good morning. See, everybody got quiet on cue. That was very good. It's a good start to the morning. My name's Eloy Ortiz Oakley, and I have the great pleasure of being the Chancellor of the California Community Colleges, and it's also my pleasure to welcome you to the 18th Annual Dr. John W. Rice Diversity and Equity Awards Ceremony. I want to take a few moments to do some thank yous to some very special people and some special guests for being here. First of all, we are, as always, honored to have Dr. Rice's widow, Clara Rice, who's here with us today. Clara, thank you for being here once again. I want to thank Assembly members Monique Limon, Randy Vopel, Senators Hannah Beth Jackson and Joel Anderson for providing some resolutions, as well as Betty Yee, and who's represented by Andrea Leyva, who will provide some certificates for the honorees today. So thank you to all of them. I also want to thank someone who has made this day possible, Ms. Keitha Mills. Keitha is the President and CEO of the Foundation for the California Community Colleges, and the Foundation's generous support makes this event possible. So please congratulate and thank the Foundation for the California Community Colleges. Thank you, Keitha. I also want to recognize several members from the Capitol staff who are here today representing the members in the Capitol who represent not only our great state, but who give so much support to the California Community Colleges. First, let me introduce Jeffrey Bernstein, who's representing Senator Hannah Beth Jackson's office, Mr. Matthew Secato from Congressman Amy Barra's office, Janae Gardner from Senator Wilk's office, as well as Cheryl McLaughlin from Senator Wilk's office, Ryan Van Zoylen from Assemblymember Irwin's office, and last but not least, Tiffany Boyd representing Assemblywoman Shirley Weber's office. Thank you all for being here. And now I want to thank my bosses, the Board of Governors. The Board of Governors represent all of our 114 colleges and do a tremendous job providing guidance and support for all of our faculty, staff, and most importantly, our students. So I'd like to ask the members of the Board of Governors who are here today to please stand up and be recognized. And of course, I want to thank all of you for coming out to help us honor this year's recipients of the Rice Award. We would not be here but for all of you, and we thank you for your continued support of the California Community Colleges. Today, we're celebrating the legacy of Dr. John W. Rice. He served as a board member of the California Community Colleges for many years. He was a fierce advocate for education, diversity, and equity, issues that ring very important today and are key cornerstones to our vision for success. It's been a distinct pleasure to celebrate his legacy for nearly 2 decades now by honoring programs and individuals that advance diversity and equity within our system. This year, we expanded the scope of the award to honor programs making a significant contribution to the vision for success. The vision for success was adopted by the Board of Governors and sets a very aggressive agenda to achieve equity and diversity in outcomes for our students. As you know, one of the goals of the Vision for Success is to eliminate the achievement gaps. And these programs being honored today are leading the way. We are celebrating two great programs today. The Accelerated Pathways to Transferable English and Math program at Cuyamaca College, and the Single Parents Arriving Ready for College program, or SPARK, at Santa Barbara City College. And I think they get the award for the best t-shirts. Both of these programs continue Dr. Rice's work to empower those who are traditionally underserved so that they too can achieve their higher education goals. We'll learn a little bit more about each program in a few minutes, but first, I want to take a moment to introduce my boss, someone I have a great privilege and I'm proud to serve with. She is the president of the Board of Governors, Ms. Cecilia Estelano. She's a wonderful advocate for our system, and it's been an absolute pleasure to work alongside her. Please join me in giving a warm welcome to Board President Cecilia Estelano.
Good morning. Good morning. It's a beautiful day, and we're in air conditioning. Yes. Okay. I am really delighted to be here. I love this every year. This is such a wonderful, wonderful ceremony and just a great tradition. We have 18 years of it, and it's just a pleasure to be with all of you. I want to congratulate the faculty and staff we're honoring today. Again, we're going to learn a little bit more about them a little bit later, but I want to spend my time talking about the man after which this program is named, who we're honoring today with these awards. Dr. Rice was born in the segregated South in 1923. He was a Presbyterian minister and university leader. In 1946, he earned a history degree at Johnson C. Smith University in North Carolina. He would later earn a divinity degree there. He served as a teacher, counselor, and coach before he became the dean of students at Stillman College in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. He later became a professor and assistant vice chancellor at the University of Denver in Colorado. He had one daughter, Condoleezza, you may have heard of her, who would become the first female African-American Secretary of State. In 1985, he ventured further out west, settling in Palo Alto to be close to his daughter following the death of his first wife. He held academic positions at Stanford University and served as a mentor. In 1989, he married lovely Clara Bailey, whom we are delighted and honored to have here with us today. Dr. Rice was appointed to the Board of Governors of the California Community Colleges in 1992, where he served until his passing in 2000. Dr. Rice was a man of great faith who called his father his greatest role model. The senior John Rice was the son of a rural Alabama farmer, and he taught his son about the early importance of an education. Dr. Rice would often say his father motivated him throughout his life and career. Dr. Rice was a visionary leader. It's why we're standing here today. He knew education was the great equalizer. He dedicated his life and career to ensuring that everyone, no matter his or her background, could earn a higher education. He was a tireless advocate for those who were traditionally underserved. He envisioned a system of higher education that embraced the importance of diversity and equity so all students can come to California Community College and leave with a degree or credential that would lead them to a better life. Dr. Rice wanted all students to be treated equally and with dignity because he knew what it was like to be treated differently. He faced segregation. He was treated as a second-class citizen because of the color of his skin. He was denied the right to vote in the 1950s in Alabama, not that long ago. He used that injustice as a source of motivation to fuel his life work so that no other student would face discrimination like he had. He knew opening students' eyes to different people, different ideas, and different experiences was the best way to ensure equity for all. So we've made great strides in continuing Dr. Rice's legacy, but we have a long way to go still. One thing we know for sure is you cannot progress towards the future and change the trajectory of the past without actually knowing, understanding, and recognizing and acknowledging the past. acknowledging the burdens, acknowledging the discrimination that has occurred, and looking it straight in the eye. And that's what we do every year when we do this award. We acknowledge where we're failing, but most of all, we honor the folks who are directly addressing those concerns. Institutionalized racism, institutionalized inequity based on social class. So it's the reason we implemented and adopted the Vision for Success. We know there are tough barriers out there, and we aren't just going to paper over them and hope to do better. We have to address them directly, set bold goals, and then hold all of ourselves accountable for meeting them. So it's the reason we continue to present this award, because just like Dr. Rice, the winners of this award, they work day in and day out to give all of our students a chance to succeed. We as a system will never stop until the achievement gap is gone for good. We will never stop until we achieve true equity. Here in California, we remain the beacon of the very best values of this nation. And that's what we are as Californians. So I want to congratulate all the winners. It's so much fun to recognize y'all. And your commitments to higher education, and your commitment to this vision of inclusion and lifting everyone up for a better California and a better country. And so I have, the distinct pleasure to introduce to you the gracious, delightful, and charming Mrs. Clara Rice.
Good morning, everybody. I have done this so many times until I have to be careful not to be redundant. However, how can I not say again that it is truly a pleasure, an honor, and a blessing to be here for the 18th time to celebrate my husband's award ceremony for diversity and equity in the California community colleges. And none of this would be happening without the work and approval of some very key people whom I would like to thank at this time. Thank you, Chancellor Elos. Someone told me that I could call you by your first name. And thank you for making this happen. And I think the Board of Governors made an excellent choice when they chose him, because I did read his bio, and he is very powerful. Thank you to the Board of Governors, President Cecilia Estelano, for all that you do as a leader for the board, and thanks to all the board members that are here. Thank you, Keither Mills. You are the wheels that get everything moving. Being the president of the Foundation for the Community Colleges, this day could not be possible without the finances that provide these beautiful programs, good food, good music, beautiful facilities, and I'm sure other things that I am not aware of. And it would be remiss of me not to acknowledge and thank Paige Dorr, who is the glue that keeps everything together. I have watched her over the years and see how she works behind the scenes. She doesn't miss a beat in getting things done. And special thanks to Rosa Estrada, who has been my personal contact, working with Condi's secretary and getting me here and to return back home. And she also sends me all the information that is pertinent to this program. Today's event not only keeps my husband's memory alive for the work he contributed on the Board of Governors, but it also gives us a chance to see and hear about the work that continues to be done in the community colleges, proving that diversity and equity does matter. Since we were here last, a lot has happened in the world to make us, or to make me question, just how much equity do we have in our diverse society? On a higher level in Washington, D.C., I dare to say that there is not very much. But the community college on a lower level is making sure that there is diversity and equity in our college curriculum, that we are inclusive, that no ethnic group is left behind. This is why I want to congratulate the 2018 award winners this morning. The Kuyamaka, I've been practicing that. I made a song out of Kuyamaka. That this college in Rancho San Diego, with your program, Accelerated Pathways through Transferable English and Math, I commend you on focusing on giving the underprepared students a chance to catch up and succeed. And I am looking forward to hearing more this morning. And congratulations to Santa Barbara Community College for your program, Single Parents Arriving Ready for College. This is such a needed and worthwhile program in helping our young people and our single parents, low income and academically underprepared students to have the chance to get an education and to better their lives. And I will have to hurry and go to my seat so I can hear more. But before I go to my seat, I always try to say just a little personal something about my husband for those who don't know the real John Rice. John could be very powerful in words and in deeds, and he also could be very gentle when there was a need, mostly to children and women. I called him my gentle giant. But he never had any problem in speaking his mind, especially against injustices. And John had a very unusual passion for education. As a matter of fact, he was against Condi leaving Stanford and going to the White House. Of course, she won that battle. He thought that it was more important to improve the lives of young people than to make and change policies that may or may not improve the lives of anybody. I think we can see that today. I think if I had been a nurse, an engineer, or a business lady, John never would have met and married me, because just as Condi's mother was an educator, so was I. I think he wanted to be married to someone that he could talk education for hours on hours, nonstop. When I was thinking of retiring, I was at retiring age, and I think he had been retired for about 10 years. And he woke up one morning and said, "Baby, let's start a school." I looked at him and said, "You gotta be kidding me." I had spent 40 years dealing with students and my last 13 years as a middle school principal, and he wanted me to start a school? But that was the way he was. He was always thinking of creative ways to educate young people. He even thought the school should have a place for students to come and live. Oh, he went on and on about this school. And I'm sure if his health hadn't failed, we would have maybe started a Rice Academy. So I want to thank each of you for being here today. And if my health doesn't fail, I will see you around this time next year. I am Clara Rice, and I approve this message.
Thank you, Clara, for once again honoring us with your presence and your words and your commitment to diversity and equity. On behalf of all of us, here's a small token. All right. Now let's get on with the awardees. So, the Board of Governors established the John W. Rice Diversity and Equity Award 18 years ago. This award recognizes a community college staff member or program that has made a significant contribution toward faculty and staff diversity or student equity. Nomination forms are sent by the colleges to our office here in Sacramento every spring, and a panel of volunteer readers from the Chancellor's office is assembled and goes through each and every one of those nominations and selects the winners. There were several nominations again this year, but of course, we had to settle on a couple of winners. So our first award this morning is presented to the Accelerated Pathways through Transferable English and Math at Cuyamaca College. We have a short video for you to enjoy, and then I welcome the awardees onto the stage.
I'm Terry Nichols. I teach at Cuyamaca College in the math department. And a few years ago, I worked with my colleagues to implement a new program to help students that are disproportionately impacted. Diverse students were the impetus for the program that we implemented so that we could bring them up to the same achievement level of other groups.
Sitting with my counselor, he noticed that I needed a math class, and in order to transfer, there was a specific math course that I needed, and he also recognized that math was not one of my strongest suits. So he referred me, he said, hey, you should look into this Cuyamaca because they really have a great math program over there. And I send students to Cuyamaca, so I said, all right, well, I'll do that.
We do a lot of activities to help students realize their capacity to do college-level work and to believe that they belong in college. So that's what that support course does. We do an activity for the students to either get the remediation they need or to determine if they actually even really need that remediation.
It took the pressure off. It was like the pot boiling over, and all of a sudden the release valve came just in time. And so by doing that, by going to that school, that's what it did for me. And I actually talk to a lot of just different people now and say, hey, you know, if you're thinking of a math class, you really should look into this college. They have really good programs there that can help you if you're struggling.
Put them straight into a transfer level class with support, 44% got through. So that's not a 5% gain or a 6% gain, which would be super exciting. That's 11 times. Think of that. If we just increased it by 10% from 4%, that would only be 14% getting through. That's still not okay. We brought it up to 44% by implementing this program.
You don't feel like you're on an island by yourself. It's all set upon, you have help.
My vision is that all colleges across the state of California will implement some sort of program that will accelerate students past those remedial pipelines of doom.
By taking this class and going through what I went through, now it allows me to want to go to school and want to do more and get a higher education than just stopping and quitting and walking away from it. It gave me the confidence to feel like I can do this now. I know I can.
I want to thank the administration, and they don't often get recognized like faculty do. From the chancellor in our district to our board, to our college president, to our vice president of instruction, to our deans. Not only are they administrators, they're educational leaders, and they're really the ones that made this program happen. I think this Rice Award recognizes them as much as it recognizes the good work of the faculty involved.
Good morning. My name is Juliana Barnes. I'm the president of, proud president of Cuyamaca College, and it is my honor to accept this award on behalf of the staff and faculty at Cuyamaca College and on behalf of our Grossmont Cuyamaca Community College District Board of Trustees and our wonderful Chancellor, Dr. Cindy Miles, who's here on the stage with us as well. I do want to say a special thank you to Clara Rice. I had a chance to chat with you for continuing to support these efforts and for being here today as well. This award in particular, I'm calling it the cherry on top because some of you have been hearing about Cuyamaca College. I know you're just getting tired of hearing about us, but and we're calling it the cherry on the top. But it's really special to us because of the focus on diversity and equity. Diversity and equity, we throw this term out, but it really runs deeply in our hearts and souls at Cuyamaca College. It's what we call the watermark, and it's the driver behind the decisions that we make at the college. And we knew that in order to achieve this vision for student success and do what we say, annihilate the achievement gap, not just eliminate it, but annihilate it, we knew that we needed to transform and overhaul developmental ed or basic skills. A large majority of our students, as we all know, are directed or what I like to say misdirected to basic skills, and they get stuck in basic skills purgatory. So forget, achieving dreams. And so we knew that we needed to overhaul developmental ed if we were to achieve that vision for success. And so we did. And so you saw some of the results, but just kind of a couple little quick nuggets. We went in math, from 10% of our students successfully completing college level math to 67% in 1 year. And in English, we doubled that to 76%. 1 year. So the real heroes in this are our faculty, and I know you talked to Terry about this being a village, and it really does take a village, but we have our hero faculty here today, Terry Nichols, Dr. Tammy Marshall, our math chair, the chair of English, Dr. Lauren Halstead, and our ESL chair, Guillermo Coles, and some of our administrators are here today. So thank you. Those are our real heroes. And of course, the winners in this are our students, and so I'm going to invite our students here. We have Rayona Freeman, who's going to share a little bit about her experience, and then also Raquel Zapian, who will share about her experiences in English. So come on up, Rayona.
Hello, my name is Rayona Freeman. For some, math is a hard subject, especially for me. I tried for years, but it seemed I just couldn't get the grasp of it. But I kept at it, even if the teacher I had at the moment had given up on me, which wasn't often, but enough to make me feel like a burden. As embarrassed as I was by this, I couldn't give up. I wouldn't. And with teachers that are willing to be understanding and patient, I didn't feel alone in trying. I would like to thank Terry Nichols for not only helping me pass math, a subject that, upon learning that I had passed it, I immediately fell to tears, but for being a mother, a leader, and a partner in math. Thank you, Terry Nichols, and to everyone that made it possible.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Raquel Zapian. I'm honored to be here with you today. As a first-generation student, getting a higher education is both an exciting and terrifying experience, for I am traveling in an unknown path. But I'm fortunate because the staff and programs at Cuyamaca College have been preparing me and guiding me to achieve success. The Accelerated English program has impacted my educational life by reducing extra course credits. The English model placed me at the highest appropriate course level that would help me reach my goal of transferring in less than 3 years. Moreover, the English program has impacted my personal life by teaching me skills that will help me get a job in my field of study, which is journalism. The program has taught me critical thinking and researching skills that without that will come in handy in the future as I try to become a writer.
Well, that was a wonderful opportunity to hear about the great things happening at Cuyamaca. However, I'm sure it'll be matched by our second awardees. The second award this morning is presented to the Single Parents Arriving Ready for College, or SPARK, of Santa Barbara City College. Please enjoy this video, and I welcome the SPARK family to come on up.
My name is Chelsea Lancaster, and I'm the coordinator for the SPARK program, which stands for Single Parents Arriving Ready for College at Santa Barbara City College. Equity and diversity is important to address in the community college system.
My name is Wendy Aguilera, and I attend Santa Barbara City College. My story began at Santa Barbara City College in 2012, and basically I attempted on my own to live the college student life while being a single parent. My first attempt, I completely failed, so that's where I understood once I met Chelsea Lancaster that I couldn't do it by myself, that I needed community. Chelsea explained to me that I was trying to run a marathon without the proper training.
With the SPARK program being under the EOPS umbrella, creating better support systems that really tap into the experiential wisdom of the student, that build strong communities where students feel seen, they feel heard, they feel valued. Programs like SPARK meet that aim.
I came from a relationship of abuse, of control, of manipulation, of basically seeing no doors opening for my future and for my daughter's future. But once I met Chelsea at Santa Barbara City College, she saw something in me that I didn't see in myself.
But what does life look like as a single parent? What happens when your baby gets sick and you can't come to class? How do you negotiate a lot of the challenges that you're going to face without giving up?
From the beginning, when I felt like running away because I didn't believe in myself and I didn't feel that I had the potential to succeed, she gave me the skills, she gave me sisterhood, she gave me a person within herself that offered me unconditional love. It didn't matter how many times I failed. It didn't matter how many times I had to drop out. She allowed me to see myself reflected in her because she went through this journey. She went through this struggle.
And that's the goal of SPARK for me, is as a low-income single mom, as somebody who's a survivor of many types of community violence, my goal was to walk through that door and hold it open for the mothers that follow me so they can too transform their communities, their lives. So a lot of what we do in SPARK and a lot of what we aim to do is sort of dismantle that shame and break that lie wide open that you're alone, that possibly you feel like you're a failure, you feel like you're not enough.
The SPARK program gave me my foundation to stand from, and without that it wouldn't be possible.
I tell the women day one, like, you are the baddest people on earth and nobody's gonna tell you that. But look at all the things that you carry. You keep other human beings alive, you nurture entire communities. The Rice Diversity and Equity Award feels like SPARK matters, mothers matter, our stories matter, our futures matter, and we have the ability to transform our communities.
Hello, hello. Luckily, I'm not the only one who got a little misty. Please excuse my voice. We're actually in the middle of the SPARK program right now, and we spent Friday with 24 single moms and about 30 babies, so things get a little hairy about halfway through. I would like to thank the Santa Barbara City College administration, faculty, staff, and all the additional support on campus. Elizabeth Stein for planting the seed and playing such an integral role as our instructor to this day. Paloma Arnold for her unwavering support for single-parent students when we often feel erasure in spaces that don't belong to us and were not built for us. The EOPS family for championing and pioneering equity and diversity work since the civil rights movement. The Foundation for Santa Barbara City College, and our community of donors who provide the resources necessary to make this work possible. In a recent workshop, one of my single moms said that as a single parent, her existence often feels thankless, unseen, and the work feels seemingly never-ending. She said, "But I won't give up because I matter and my dreams matter." So I want to thank the Chancellor's Office and you, Clara Rice, for letting our students know and affirming, again, like I said in the video, that we matter. I also want to shout out the Spark moms in the audience, my own. They are our why every single day. My own mom in the audience was a single mom herself. And my daughter, who's going to be starting Mills College in Oakland next month. And that's what we do. We hold the door open, not just for those that follow us in terms of students and mothers, but for our kids too. In terms of nuts and bolts, I really wanted to go over that really briefly. It should be in the brochure, but Spark is a 6-week intensive for under-resourced single parents who are first-generation, undocumented, intersectionality, right? We don't live single-issue lives. The program offers classes and workshops specifically designed for this population. We offer childcare. We offer weekly stipends. We have a meal plan so students can eat while they're on campus and while they're off campus, all books and supplies. And every Friday we go on field trips, both with our kids, without our kids. Most of all, we take up space on campus. We let people know we're there. We bring our kids to campus. We demystify those spaces for our children. And again, let them know that they belong there. Spark is just the seed. It grows into an intergenerational movement of women that support each other, like what you see today. We have many different cohorts represented in this audience. Our students move on to act as peer mentors for other single-parent students. They're starting and leading campus clubs like the Black Student Union, like the Still I Rise Club. They're starting programs like the Emoja program. We have in the audience the first Black woman, the first single mother to ever sit on the Board of Trustees at Santa Barbara City College. So we are not on the table, we are at the table. They're community organizers. We don't just demand equity and diversity in our institutions, we demand justice. I just wanted to share a quote by Paulo Freire, one of my heroes, who said that education doesn't change the world, education changes people, and people change the world. So thank you to everybody in this room that's doing that work. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Wendy Aguilera. My story is one of the many that have been shared during the life-changing summer bridge program called Spark at Santa Barbara City College. This program focuses its attention on single parents beginning their educational journey in community college and those returning after an unsuccessful attempt. Spark centers marginalized single mothers with the understanding that if you educate the mother, you educate the family as well and their future generations. I now have a beautiful 8-year-old daughter named Quetzali that's resilient, empowered, and who envisions herself as one day becoming the first woman president of the United States. It was because of that toxic relationship, as you heard in the video, that I lost myself. I let go of my own dreams and aspirations and ambition. I moved back to Santa Barbara after leaving that toxic relationship, and I started from zero. In 2012 is when I began my journey in community college, and I failed because I lacked the necessary skills and resources to have a successful outcome. Coming from a Latina background, I was never really expected to go to college or to a university. It wasn't until the year 2015 when I met Chelsea Lancaster that my life and my future, but most importantly that of my daughters, changed for the best. Chelsea Lancaster is the heart of this program, and she has gone through many of the life hardships that we have survived or currently find ourselves in. She gets it, she understands us, and that is what makes the difference in our lives. It's because of her, Paloma Arnold, Miss Elizabeth, and many other wonderful, amazing professors and the entire EOPS family that my life was returned to me and that my future and that of my daughters is changed for the best. This program allowed me to understand, reflect on, and process many of the things that happened in my life, and it also taught us how to unpack and dismantle the shame we often carry because we don't fit in society's ideal image of a traditional two-parent home. I was able to see I'm not alone when it comes to my life experiences, my background, my self-doubt, my fear, self-sabotage, pain, and so much more. This program gifted me with a new beginning and a promise to get me on track with my own personal healing if I was willing to put in the work, be present for myself, for my daughter, and for my classmates. This opportunity helped me find my voice. It taught me to claim my space in education and feel deserving of it. It developed my leadership, poetry, and public speaking skills. I just graduated this past May 2018 with an Associate's in Liberal Studies with an emphasis in Thank you. With an emphasis on social and behavioral science, and I'm 2 classes away from my psychology and my sociology associates for transfer. So I plan to transfer to CSU, Channel Islands, and attend the psychology program. I envisioned for myself to become a Latina psychologist, and I want to help empower my people as well as other women of color. And at Santa Barbara City College, I've been a peer mentor for the Spark Summer Bridge program for 3 years in a row after I graduated from the program myself. And I also helped found a club called Still I Rise that consists of single parents, formerly incarcerated students, and also students in recovery. And the main focus of this club, to briefly let you know, is that it helps us through our healing process and our healing journey by creative writing. So we transfer a lot of emotion and a lot of our stories in creative writing, and we also share it in open mics, and we just let our community become a part of that as well. And it keeps us, it holds us accountable to be present and to be a part of, the student life on campus. Spark gives us hope for the future. It builds a strong foundation from which we're able to learn and grow. It gives us the power and control of our lives back. And it sets us on the road of endless possibilities and opportunities, not only for our children and ourselves, but for our future generations. On behalf of all the Spark cohort, I want to thank you for gifting Spark with such prestigious award. And it's truly an honor and privilege to be in front of all of you today. Thank you.
Well, as always, this event not only brings tears to my eyes, but fills me with the pride that I have to not only be a product of the California Community Colleges, but to have the pleasure of spending my life working for the California Community Colleges. So thank you to both Spark Program and Cuyamaca for continuing to give us faith and hope, and to give us the strength we need to keep pushing to end the achievement gaps, to continue to push forward for equity and diversity in the California Community Colleges. Please give them one more round of applause. Now, I do have one question for Wendy. Where'd she go? Oh, she's back. Oh, there you are. Will your daughter be ready for the 2020 presidential campaign? Just wondering. Okay. Well, let me just say a few words in concluding this great event. Today, we saw two examples of what it means to be the California Community Colleges, the largest system of higher education in the nation, and a system that prides itself, that dedicates itself to educating the top 100% of students in California, because all 100% of them matter to the future of California. Many of us in education often hear that, that veteran can't learn, that single mother can't learn, that older worker can't learn, that brown and black young man can't learn. We have to continue to reject that every single moment of our time in the California Community Colleges. We are about all of them. They all can learn, will learn, and need the opportunity to learn. So I'm very proud of the work and service of the Board of Governors, who has dedicated themselves to the vision for success, and I'm very proud to honor Santa Barbara City College and Cuyamaca College today. So, I also want to take one last moment to thank Clara Rice for coming and joining us again today and for continuing the legacy of Dr. Rice. This concludes the 2018 Dr. John W. Rice Diversity and Equity Awards ceremony. A big thank you to all of you for coming out and celebrating with us today. I also want to give another thank you to the Foundation for the California Community Colleges, whose generous support makes the award ceremony possible. We hope this event inspired you to continue to make a positive change on your campuses, in your community, in your great state, and throughout the nation. Thank you for coming, and have a wonderful, wonderful day.